Hi, I'm Carl and welcome back to my shop. Today I'm happy to add to my workshop space this air purifier. What this is it hangs on the ceiling or I can set it on a bench, but I'm going to hang it from the ceiling, and it's an air purifier. It takes out the fine sawdust in the air, and the main reasons that I really like this actual model is because, first of all, I like DeWalt. Okay, I just like DeWalt. If you look back on my tool cabinet, you'll see a bunch of DeWalt products already. I've never been disappointed with them, so that's a big plus right there. But it's not the main reason. The main reason is I wanted an air purifier that had an automatic feature on it for turning on the fan. So when it detects dust in the air, it automatically turns on, which I really think this is a great feature, and not all air purifiers / air filters have that. The other reason is basically the price. This one right now on Amazon sells for $260, which might seem like quite a little bit, but in comparison to other brands, a lot of times they run like $350 to $500 for the same features. So, which is a HEPA filter, which I really wanted. It had to have a HEPA filter, which this one goes down to 0.3 microns of sawdust that it'll collect in the filter. That's just one thing is a must in my shop. I need to have it at least 1 micron and less for in my shop. And the main reason for that is because from what I've always heard and what I believe is the small particles of sawdust are the most dangerous. They're the ones that when you breathe in get embedded deep down into your lungs, and they can stay there The bigger ones I don't believe go quite so deep into your lungs, and perhaps you can cough them out, or maybe you just get filtered out through your nose and stuff. I'm not real sure. A lot of times I do wear a mask also when I'm doing sanding and stuff, so that helps out a lot. But in the past, I do a lot of sanding, or if I'm using my table saw, which does not have dust collection. When I get done, I leave the shop for a while to let the sawdust kind of settle in the air. But that's kind of inconvenience. So hopefully with this, it'll take out enough fine sawdust in the air to make it more safe in my shop. And even if I do leave the shop afterwards, I don't have to stay out so long, and perhaps I won't even have to leave at all. We'll just have to see how well this unit actually works. And I'm sure a lot of you are in the same situation I am. You want to do something today to help get the air quality better in your shop. And this right here, I'm hoping we'll do it. We'll find out together. So let's open it up and see what's inside the box. I've been rambling on long enough. Just a quick look inside. Everything's packed very nicely. I'd expect nothing less from DeWalt. Here's your owner's manual. And we got some chains and some hooks to go on the ceiling. I definitely need those. Here's the remote control for it. Okay. Now for the unit itself. And that's all that's in the box. And I turn around so you can get a look at the filter here. There's the filter side right there. Here's the back side, which has the controls on it. And then it's got little hooks up top, little loops up top, which the chain will fasten onto. And of course the power cord itself. It's in very good shape. There's absolutely no damage to the box. There's no damage to the unit. It's all very, very pristine shape at this point, which is exactly what we want. Okay, has a little cover on the plug type thing. Take that off. And I believe I'm about ready to go up in the air, figure out where I want to put my find the studs and so forth. Hang from. You definitely want to hang this on studs. If you do hang it in the ceiling, it weighs about 25 to 27 pounds. Shipping weight's 27, but the box and stuff's gonna weigh a little bit. So I'm giving an estimated weight of about 25 pounds. So you definitely want to find a stud, 2 studs, and that'll work out real good in this location because up top, this is a pole barn building and the rafters are every 2 foot apart, so I have no problem putting it right into studs up in the ceiling. Okay, one thing that I did notice as I was starting to look at this unit a little bit better is the filters are in plastic. So before we actually hang it up, first we're going to take the filters out of the plastic. Now there's 2-stage filters in this. This one is called the medium efficiency filter. It shows you exactly the airflow and so forth on it. So I took that out. There we go. Once you get the plastic off them, you got to take them off to clean the filters, so replace or clean. The nice thing about these filters though, they have these little grab things on them, so they're really easy just to grab onto them and pull them out once they're in the machine. They're probably easier to take out the second time than the first time actually. So it shows the airflow, so we're going to put it in accordingly. And that's kind of like just what it looks like inside. It's just a screen in here for protect the fan and so forth, and the motor. As I mentioned before, it shows you the airflow, but also just remember that these little tab things that you pull it out, they're on the outside. So just make sure they go that way, you're all set. And the cover has 2 little screws on top, and it kind of catches on the bottom. So get that in there. Which, now I'll turn it up back this way, I think. And just got 2 little screw knob things, which work very well. Easy, no tools are required, which is another nice feature. It's toolless to do maintenance on this. If you want to replace or blow out the air filters, it's toolless, which is very nice having things toolless. I like that. Okay, now it's time to hang it up. So I'm hanging my screws in a pattern of 2 feet by 1 feet. 12 inches by 24 inches. And I can easily see where the studs are at because I can see nails in the roof in the ceiling here. So I just mark it. I drill a pilot hole. And you have to find the hole again, of course, which is the more difficult part. Right there, I think. And I just start these by hand. And I finish them up with my channel locks. And once it starts turning a little bit hard, I just use the very handle of my channel locks. Put it in the hook of this and just turn it. Only takes a few turns and it'll be right up there. And I just go to the threads that are just barely not visible anymore. And I also have the opening of my hooks face this direction because my cord is going to be facing that direction. So there'll be a little bit of a movement to pull it this way, which would be against the total back of the hook. Hopefully that makes sense. Okay, so I got 1, 2, 3, 4 screws here. So now I'm just going to put the chains on. This is real simple, it just has a clip. The hook's right there. Okay, I got all the chains hooked up. There we go. Okay. Now I'm not exactly sure how high up I want this. To me, this seems like it's hanging down a little bit low right now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Put that down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now for a moment of truth to see if my power cord reaches my plug. There's a ceiling plug over here for a trouble light. There's an empty spot, so I'm hopefully gonna plug that in there. Hopefully it's gonna reach. Well, it does reach, but just barely, so I'm really happy that I measured that properly because it just barely reaches. The power cord itself is 6 feet long. It kind of says it's supposed to be 6.6, but when I actually measured it, in reality is 6 feet. So that's what I used, and it just barely worked. It did beep when I plugged it in, so we got power. All right. Now with the remote control, you just take off the back. It comes with a battery, which is great. And you just pull out that little piece of paper. Maybe. Pull that little piece of paper so that the battery will be activated. And I'll keep my fingers crossed and see if this works. One of the units on. It's not very loud actually. Yeah, that's on high right now. And that's really not too loud either. You can very easily talk. Still very easily talk around other people. I thought it might be louder than this, but it's actually I consider it very quiet. That's on high. That's high. That's low, which is basically a whisper. That's super quiet. Medium. Now the reason I'm changing on the back of the machine is because right now the remote's not working, so I got to play around there a little bit. On the back side, just turned it on and off. Okay, well, it's on auto right now. Apparently in the remote control you got to do it on the back side of the machine, which I guess makes sense because this is blocking the signal. Do it on the back side, it worked perfectly. Now it just was on medium, now the auto just went down to low. Okay, just a quick little review. Okay, remote did work perfectly fine as long as you're on the back side of it where it gets a clean signal. It's supposed to have a range of like 16 feet. Regardless, it does work good. It's not very noisy. I can't give you my total opinion on it other than it's packaged real good. It works great out of the box. I'm glad to have it because it's going to help take that fine sawdust out of the air to help protect my lungs. Other than that, like I said in the very beginning, the price is right. It has a HEPA filter in it, so it takes out 0.3 micron particle size of sawdust out of the air. Has an auto feature on the fan, which I really liked. I like that a lot. And the fourth thing is it's DeWalt, and I just like DeWalt. I always have. Look at my tool cabinet. I have lots of DeWalts. I've had a lot of good luck with it. It's not putting any other companies down or any other manufacturer down. I just had good luck with DeWalt, so you kind of stick with what you got. And yeah. So I think it works pretty good. It's really easy to install. It's just the bolt pattern on top of the machine to hang the chains is 12 inches square, which makes it nice. But I did put mine, like I said, 12 inches lengthways and 24 inches apart because that's where my studs are at. So the chains hang on a little bit of an angle, but that's fine. Doesn't hurt anything. I did my chains 15 lengths from the end is where I put them into the hook itself, so that it hangs up there closer to the ceiling, which is about half the length of the chain basically. So if you have a tall ceiling and you want to hang down a little bit farther, you got ample chain there to do that, which is nice. I have 10-foot ceilings in this building right here, so it works out good. I have is 11-inch gap between top of the air purifier and the ceiling itself. So it won't get in the way of projects and so forth. Hopefully. I'm sure at some point in time, I'll probably get away with a project, but not too many. So it's basically right over the corner of my workbench. It's almost in the center of my shop. It's probably about 2 feet off center of the shop itself. Okay, so that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed watching me install my new DeWalt air purifier, kind of slash air filter. But I think it's called an air purifier because it goes down to such a small microns, 0.3 microns is pretty good in my opinion. I guess that's all. Until next time, have a great day.